Hi there, in this final part of the login screen, we want to show messages on success or failure of processes and conclude the sign-in process. When a user signs up, we want to tell them that the sign-up process worked or did not work, the same with the sign-in process. The sign-up process executes a select where clause, using the email address. If the email is not found, the user profile is created. So when the create process is successful, let's tell the user that the sign-up process was a success. Let's also add an else clause, so that if that does not work, the user is notified. Let's run our app and test this implementation. The user is now getting a toast notification on successful sign-up. Now let's update the sign-in code. This needs to do a select where clause using the entered email address, then if found, compare the saved hash password with the details the user has entered. For this we will use a variant of the select where call we did before. It is called exists. It works the same as the select where clause we did before, so it expects parameters. Let's define them as email address. Now we need to generate the callback for the exists clause. Let's access the register data source from the layout to do that, and then generate members. This will add the exists callback to our ID, and then we can update it to validate the sign-in details. The exists callback is fired after the exists call we made when the sign-in button is clicked. When the result of the callback is 0, it means the email address was not found. We will display a notification when that happens. On success, we compare the passwords. To compare the passwords, We will read what the user has entered on the login form, and after reading the password retrieved from the database, we then compare the hash passwords. If there is a match, our login is a success. We then read the details entered by the user on the login form. The password in the database was saved as a hash value, so we need to compare hash values to find a match. We then get the saved password from the database. If the entered details generate a matching hash with what is saved in the database, the user credentials match. For now, on success, we will show a success notification. If the hash values do not match, even if the email address is correct, the profile cannot be validated. We cannot give the user access. Let's run the application and test our logic. The profile validation is a success. We need to fix that loading sign in button. If the password is incorrect, we show an error. Let's fix the loading sign in. It should turn off when the exists call finishes. This then closes the login tutorial we have been creating. We created a user interface, we created a backend to store our user profiles, we then built the logic to sign up and sign in users and were able to show notifications. In this web app, you do not see the backend SQL calls because these have been abstracted by the data source control. Behind the scenes we are executing PHP calls to our MySQL database. Congratulations!